Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to today's webinar event. My name is Joshua. I'm going to be your presenter again today. We're here to talk about membership, family, and individual photos in church windows. It's promptly 1 p.m. We're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, typical, kind of starting for us here is, of course, if you've got a click the little red arrow on the sidebar of your webinar control panel there. It allows you to minimize that webinar control panel, get better visual, capture more of the visual portion of the presentation here. We are recording today's event. It will be on our website, in the next week or so. We try to get these, recorded, produced, and then out on our website within a week. So we're pretty good about that these days. So you will be able to revisit this there at some point at churchwindows.com and in our support center. If you have questions, please type those into the questions portion of the webinar. I'll do my best to keep an eye on that. Now keep in mind, this is just sort of an introduction to a series of 3 events on dealing with the directory. The reason why this is important is I'm not here to talk about the directory today. There are other webinar events later on this week that will cover the directory questions you have in detail, including questions around photos and how they are dealt with on the directory. That'll be, again, another presenter here later this week. Basically, that just means, please keep the questions on topic here. So about assigning pictures, what have you. The topic is taken, it's a very short, this is probably not even going to go the full 20 minutes, folks. It might go 10 or 15, frankly. The prospect of, assigning photos is not terribly difficult or challenging. In fact, we've dedicated a half a page to it on our M101 workbook on page 19. It's that simple. So let's go in. Let's take a look here. We're on version 20. That's an important thing, is right up here in the upper right. I just want to point out, if you don't have version 20 or yours and you would like us to send it to you, we've sent out more of those links today to folks. Or if you have and you just haven't installed it, just be aware this is going to be covering the new assigning pictures on version 20, which is a little bit different from the old one on the old version 19 and earlier. So when we go into our general people database now, it always, as always, starts with, finding the name or the family that we're wanting to assign our pictures to. So if we go into the Bell family, Bill and Donna, it takes us to their record here. We see clearly Bill and Donna Bell down the left-hand side here. Bill Bell, Donna Bell. He's highlighted on Bill. So it's always about choosing the person. Now, one of the big changes in the version 20 is that we've always had the ability to be able to assign photos to a particular individual. So we notice here we've got a tab here. There's one that's going to open to the one called Bill Bell. But we see a series of tabs across the top here, Bill Bell, groups, classes, skills, interest, address, context, comments, and then a little tab on the far right called photo. Hopefully everybody can see that there. Let me kind of draw an arrow right here. Okay. So that's the individual photo. But kind of over here on the left-hand side, if you notice, we've got one also down here on the left. It's kind of hidden. I'll scroll over to that once we come back to that. But it's on the left-hand side, and it's just to the right of the comments on the family side, and that is a family photo. So you can actually have a photo assigned to both individuals within a family as well as a family photo. This was new in version 20. Okay, you couldn't do this in previous versions. Okay, so when I want to assign a photo to Bill, again, I'm finding the person's record using the person lookup. I click on the person's name. Let's say we're going to assign one to Donna. So notice I've clicked on her name. Her information changes on the right. So now I go to the photo tab, and there's no image. It clearly shows. And then right here to the upper right, I click the Add Picture button. Okay. If I want to remove a picture, I would click the Clear Picture button, but we're going to be adding here. So once we click on the one called Add Picture, you have to browse to the photo where the location where the photo is sitting. Okay, Church Windows doesn't automatically read those. You have to browse to it. So this is essentially an open or a browse window. So then we would scroll down and I mean, these are just named with file names on them, but you have to know either the photo or the picture of the person that you're looking at, or they have to be named appropriately. But then I can either highlight the one I'm wanting and click open, or I can simply double click on that, and it will populate in that image space now. Okay, however you choose to assign it. Okay, basically the pictures, whether they're on the family or the individual side, work the same way. So if I go, oh, that picture was wrong, that's not Donna Bell, I would simply click on Add Picture again, and I would find the one picture of Donna, and then I either highlight it and click open or double click on it, and it'll say overwrite previous image. Okay, so we're going to say yes on that. Okay, and it changes that picture. I don't need to clear it first in order to simply change it, but I do have to click yes at the change. Okay, there's no save here, it saves it automatically. Okay, very straightforward. So now if we steer our focus to the left, we go, oh, okay, I do have a picture of the Bell family that I want to assign to the photos. So I would click on the photo tab there. Notice it's one of the tabs across the top there. And I would simply again click the Add Picture button one more time. So now I have to go back to my main Photos tab. And, again, I would scroll down and I'd find the one for the Bells that, if I had one. These are just photos we have, folks. These are, so I would double click or highlight it and click open, and there it again populates with that picture on the family side. Again, no save required. Okay. The pictures, folks, again, if I do want to clear a picture, if say, oh, okay, one of them passes, say, for example, and I want to clear that out of there, I can click the clear picture and it will simply remove that. Okay? It doesn't require save is not lit up, it saves it automatically. That's one of the nice things about the Microsoft SQL Server function is that it doesn't require saving nearly as much as the old Access database did. It did require that we save those in order to save them. SQL saves many times things like this automatically. Or if I do the same thing, I need to change the picture, I would do the same thing. I don't need to clear it. I can just click Add Picture, find the one of the person that I'm wanting, or the family that I'm wanting in this case. And again, I would just simply double click or open on it, and it would say Overwrite Image and say yes. Okay? Yeah, folks, that's really it. There's not too terribly much to assigning pictures, okay? These pictures are, I will say, that this is the extent that I'm going to say about it in terms of how it touches on the directory, because again, it's going to be covered in a more detailed event later this week. Both the individual pictures and the family photos can be included on your directories, and Rachel will talk about that on, I think, Thursday or Friday, the one that deals with the pictorial directory. So, but that's it, folks. That's how easy it is to assign our pictures to both our individuals and our families in the new version 20. So let's see what questions we had. I would like version 20. How do I go about getting that? That's a great question. Please call us at 800-533-5227 and just let the person know who's answering the phone for you, Rhonda. Let them know that you want to get version 20 now, and they'll take care of it for you, getting that set up for you. How did you get the picture to show the file? Well, so in this case, Joanne, when you click Add Picture, this is a browse window. So you have to browse to the location where the pictures are. So in this case, mine is just sitting on the desktop. I scroll down, I find the one that I called, that I think it's just called Photos, and there they are. It revealed those automatically. Yeah. We have a cloud-based version of Church Windows, so how do I retrieve the pictures? Jeannie, same way. When you click the Browse button, all of your drives, even from the cloud, all of your local drives are available on the machine where you're sitting. You just would have to browse to that location. Those photos are still available. If you have questions about that, please call us. Our technicians are happy to help, of course. We're happy to do that, walk you through that. We understand the cloud brings in some challenges. When I tried to load the picture, it is too large that you could only see their nose. Well, that's a good point, Kathleen, that Church Windows is not a photo editing software, so if those images are too large, where you can't where the system doesn't, they're just too fine a picture, they're too good a quality, you may have to use another external program to resize those photos and kind of make them a little more manageable, so the software, they probably would look really great on the directory, but in terms of looking at this, they probably wouldn't be. So yeah, you'd need to use a photo editing program of some kind to get those more manageably sized. Great question. Can you import pictures from LifeTouch where we did our original directory? I don't know how to answer that. Provided LifeTouch makes them available, that where you can open them in a format such as this and assign them to folks, the answer, of course, to that is yes. But I don't know how ownership of those photos is dealt with from LifeTouch perspective. You'll have to contact them and ask them if you can use those to assign to your records in the software. My photos come up sideways. How do I fix that? Yeah, again, Cheryl, that would be something that's not dealt with in Church Windows. You would have to go to the, photo wherever your photos were, and you'd have to do something like this. Open them. Right here we've got to rotate clockwise, rotate counterclockwise, and then save them there. That allows that to fix them. We resized them, but still couldn't load them. What size should they be? Boy, honestly, Kathleen, that's a tough question. Let's look at some of these here. So the properties on this image right here is 4.24 kilobytes. Very small file. I mean, probably, frankly, anything over 200 is going to be way too big. Frankly, that might even be way too big. So I think, yeah, you'll want to get them sized down to something. These images that we're looking at here are very small. They're averaging probably between 4 and 10 kilobytes per picture. Very small images. But again, that's something you'll have to play with. Yeah, try resizing them down to a smaller image, changing those and just till they get down into there, down to something that you can actually see. I'm sorry, I wish I could answer more about that for you. Let's go into some of our photos and see what some of these are. Yeah, see, even the ones of the family ones, they all vary between 4, 5, 6, 7 kilobytes per image. They're not very large at all. Yeah, so I think anything upwards of 100 or something is just going to be way too big, frankly. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. We hope it's been helpful. I hope that folks are planning on taking the or attending some of the other webinar events on our directory, more of our directory options here later this week, because we are trying to get some more combinations of things done together so folks get a better through line for some things. So we've got the next 3 webinars this week are all on the directory in Church Windows, and we hope you'll attend, certainly. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar for everybody. We look forward to seeing you at another Church Windows webinar event. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.